All right.
Shall I start, please?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't realize we're streaming. Great. Yeah. Please do.
yeah. Hey everyone. So we are live, and today is 10th June. Um, so this is the Meshery development meeting, and here we discuss about all the good issues we are having and co-development of Meshery. Talking about Meshery, it's the sixth highest velocity project in CNCF, and you can do all the some of the good things with it, like visualizing your Kubernetes cluster and your cloud infra, deploying designs, and a lot of things that it has. So there are a number of new joiners in the community as well. The KubeCon Mumbai is also approaching on 18th, 19th June. We'll be there over there as well. So some of the housekeeping items that we follow in the development call, we do add a name over here in the meeting minutes. So if you're here, that means we know that you were here. So I'll be passing on the link in the chat for the meeting minutes. Yeah. So I request everyone to turn on their webcams so that we can have an interactive conversation as it's a human nature. We remember more faces than voices. So we all know that we'd be interacting with you. So let's start with some of the introductions that we do as a housekeeping item. So if there someone who has joined this call for the first time, and even if not, you can give an intro about yourself, where you're from, and where do you live, what do you study, anything about it.
Hello everyone. I'm Nafisa and I'm a computer science student at IIIT Jabalpur. So I've been contributing to Meshery for about a month now and I have really enjoyed exploring the project and the community. So this is my first time joining a Meshery development meeting and I'm excited to be here and connect with everyone.
Hey, Navisa, great to have you. Uh, yeah,
Thanks.
Hi all, myself Nirupam. I'm currently doing my undergrad at college in Noida. So I have joined Mishri this week itself and currently looking for more opportunities to contribute. That's all.
yeah. Hey, thanks. Thanks for the introduction. We do participate also in multiple programs, so there are multiple opportunities that you will be getting stumbled upon here. So yeah. Mhm. Uh, Suhani, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello.
Hi, Ronald. Hi,
Yes,
everyone.
my name is Vedant Sadhwa. Hello, my name is Vedant Sadhwai. I am currently studying a second year student in Newton School of Technology. And yes, I am new in this, but I'm also very excited for contributing in this. Thanks.
Yeah,
Hi,
thanks, Vedant.
everyone. Hi, Ronald. I'm Suhani, and I have been contributing to open source for quite some time and primarily in Kyberno right now. And I have learned a lot through collaborating with the open source community, and my tech stack mainly includes software development, web developments, and lately I have been exploring DevOps, cloud native technologies, and as you know, maybe I have been familiar with the Mesri community for some time, so it's great to join today's discussion and connect with everyone here.
Thanks, Suhani. That's a wonderful introduction. Yeah. Suryansh, I think you are attending call for the first time.
No, actually, I have attended the meeting like twice or thrice. I'm a student of ABS Engineering College, final year student. Yeah, I have been contributing from like 2 3 months, but due to my exam, I was away for like 1 month. So yeah, I will be rejoining now.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Uh, Rafael. Okay. Uh, okay, if not, so you can also introduce yourself on the Zoom chat if anyone doesn't have a microphone. So yeah, we will be starting the call since we don't have any of the. Okay, we have an announcement. Meshery is undergoing diligence for incubation. Lee, would you like to cover this one?
Yep. Meshery is currently a sandbox project. It's been there for a while. It's been in the CNCF for a while. And there are a number of people in tag infrastructure who are making sure that Meshery is ready. So they're vetting it for that next stage. That's exciting, to say the least. It is, and so there's a number of adopters, Meshery adopters, who are, I guess, getting ready for an interview to talk about their use of Meshery. So that's great. There was one other item related to this. Is a point of clarification for folks. When we started this open source community, there was a single web page and a single domain. It was layer5.io. It was a single page where we put up some information about service meshes, actually, about that technology, quite some long time ago. And so the community started open from the start, and people slowly but surely started showing up, kept showing up. People learned and grew and shared that with others, and more people came. We ended up registering many more domains, so not just layer5.io, but I'm not sure. It's about 15 or so different domains, and then I'm not sure how many different web apps and things. But anyway, the community has grown. The numbers are, you can see in Slack, 10,000 plus members here. 2 projects donated to the CNCF. Maintainers of more than just those 2 projects in the CNCF, so other projects. Like there's a lot that happens in this particular community, and the community is known as the Layer 5 community, with Meshery as our largest project. It is also known as the Meshery community. And actually, just a little while ago, maybe about a year ago, maybe, I don't quite recall, we renamed the Slack from Layer 5 to Meshery. And so, and it dedicated this Slack to our biggest project. There are many projects that sort of orbit Meshery. Meshery is an extensible platform, so there's many Meshery extensions. But Meshery is the biggest, the rock in the middle, the sun, the one with the biggest gravity, so to speak. And so to help ensure its success and put our all of our muscles and our brain power behind it, we renamed the Slack workspace to Meshery. And so I don't know how well, or it bears repeating that, like, it's taking us a while to go displace all of the mentions of Layer 5 and all the various places that it gets mentioned. But it's sometimes hard for some of us to see, but Layer 5 is, some of us think of it as just an open source community, but technically it's a vendor. So it's a company, it's an organization that doesn't make any money. but it does, but it is considered a vendor. And so I want to ask everyone to continue to talk about Layer 5 and invite people to come join and participate in any of the projects. There's a bunch. I mean, we won't even talk about like 1/20th of the projects that are in here today. But as you continue to share about that and the experiences that you have here, wonderful. But please know that if you're inviting people, if you're talking about Meshery in that project, please consider it's the Meshery community, and that you want to share links to meshery.io, and if you're talking out of context of Meshery, great, share about any of the other projects and talk about Layer 5 as an open source community. And but otherwise, so in context of Meshery undergoing this due diligence in consideration of incubation, what we don't want to, we want to clarify and keep clear Layer 5 as an organization from Meshery as a project and the community around Meshery. And so kind of a lot of words to say, hey, if you're welcoming folks, or if you're generally sharing a link, if you're talking about Meshery and it's in context of Meshery, like it used to just be that it was the Meshery, the project, and all of the surrounding projects. But now it is Meshery, the project, and Meshery, the community. It's not illegal to say Layer 5 or something like that. Go ahead. But I just wanted to call attention to that and help folks be sensitive. We've kind of been, because of our genesis and where we started and where most of or all of the projects have grown from, often they have Layer 5 links that point to them, and they sort of start there, and then a lot of them migrate. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping that Abid Sofi or Yash Sharma is on the call today. We'll talk about a project that just migrated from the Layer 5 org to the Meshery extensions org this week, like on Monday, I think. And so that's actually a perfect example of like just how things sort of start organically in that, over there, and then move over. One nice thing now is that we've got two different GitHub repositories. I'm sorry, two different GitHub organizations. If you visit github.com/Meshery, you're probably familiar with that. You've all no doubt been there. And half or more of you, or some percentage of you, have also been to a second GitHub organization. It's github.com/Meshery-extensions. So there's a big announcement about this last year where there's even more repositories, and even just as much activity happening over here where people are working on things that extend Meshery and build off of it. And so many of you have worked a lot over here, actually. So I mentioned Meshery extensions as probably more and more we'll have more additional projects whose genesis is there and not just in the Layer 5 community. So long-winded. Anyway, just wanted to make sure that we're being conscientious of it, and yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thanks for sharing this announcement, Lee. So we're moving on to the agenda for today's call. Omkar, you are up next. Would you like to talk about your agenda item? Yeah.
So currently, relationship generate command use hard-coded indices to pass ESV. It's a fragile and already caused drifting. So what's the update I did here is that we are using Meshkit CSV here. So it's a header-based passing. So fragile level is little low, and Yeah, yeah. Any suggestion for this approach?
Yeah, I wonder Yash would be having some thoughts on this one.
I haven't context about this. Due to my exams, I didn't pay attention to this PR, so I guess I need to take a look at this before saying anything.
Mm.
It will generate a relationship definition.
So
Yeah, let me give you.
yeah,
Let me give you a
surely.
quick demo.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this command, after running this command, it will generate a output.json, and
Omka, we are still on the GitHub screen if you're sharing your terminal or any other. Yeah.
All right, guys. I don't know what are we doing? Is so Josh is busy somewhere else. He's not focused on helping review this area. So Umkar, looks like we owe you some feedback. I mean, some initial feedback is I don't know, like I'm not sure that this really helps that much. It kind of does. It sort of also just makes more work. You just end up listing out the names multiple times. It's always helpful to have a point of indirection, which is what you're introducing here. You're introducing sort of a name lookup for what the column name is to what that maps to. The reality is anytime that the column name changes, you'd need to come in here and update the code, which is exactly what you have to do today. And so this is one of those traps that people get into fairly often, thinking like, oh, hey, this could be improved, it could be clarified. And in I think on a net whole, this is an improvement primarily by way of just organization. It's about on the same order of taking a variable constant variable and pulling it out, putting it at the top of your code. It's sort of clarifying and cleaning up and capitalizing the name of that variable, and it's a little slightly more clean. But should that name ever change or that value ever change, you still need to go update the code. So I don't, what was the genesis of the issue? Was it to make the code more resilient or something else?
I think I can give some better context here. I had requested Omkar for this. So what had happened was the registry command and others were running fine. But for the Meshery CTL relationship generate, the column names and the indexes, just like Lee just mentioned, it had already drifted. So I have not looked into the registry command side of thing, how it's handled, but I saw that between these commands which passes the CSV, the implementation was different. So I had initially told Omkar that you should go check out the registry command and just, let's have the implementation same. So that was the genesis of how we came here.
Nice. As you guys move forward, because I think it's a net positive from my perspective. You might consider lowercasing like as we go to translate from what the CSV has to how it's used in code is like the halfway camel casing or like the halfway like inconsistent casing. Some people would capitalize data and metadata. Other people wouldn't. It's just better if we just lowercase everywhere. That might improve our.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
One thing for me as well. I found this is great, but we are still bind with uh,
Yeah.
the format of the header. I don't know if we could have somewhere where there's like I don't know how to say that, but
Yeah, where it's dynamically
the-
mapped. Yeah, I don't know that there
yes,
really is, Matthew.
one place of truth that can be reused everywhere. Because here, if for any reason we change we add a new columns, it will not be in the new CSV generated until someone do a pull request to handle that. So that's the only thing that we are still we could break something just because we don't rely to one place where this is the truth and we can always rely on it. So
So
make
Matthew's
sense?
point is yeah, Matthew, for me, it totally does. Your point is the same as my original, my point as well, which is this sort of cleans up and clarifies, sort of organizes the code, and it's that's generally a good thing. It's also generally a good thing to have a point of indirection, which is what this provides here, sort of like DNS, if you will, sort of like a lookup between. It provides a little bit of, or it on the surface, people consider that it provides a little bit of cushion between name changes. And Matthew's point is, actually, we're just fooling ourselves. It doesn't. If you change the name in the sheet, you got to come in and change the code, which is exactly what I'd said to start with. It can be helpful if this is not an error, like this doesn't really help that much. And actually, we shouldn't really talk about it too much more because it's just not what could help, but what isn't worth chasing down is externalizing these either in two forms. One, such that people can provide their own map. No code change is necessary. They can provide their own mapping in the parameters here. And that can be done in a couple of different ways, but it's just not something that people are doing day in, day out. It's not where we should change code and risk bugs and spend more meeting time. And so like, this is wonderful. I get, it's one of those things that you get fooled up front thinking that it could be better, and it can be better, but this isn't a step forward. It's not a meaningful step forward. So I mean, there are other ways, other things you can. I won't spend more time on the meeting, but there's other ways that without getting to where I'd said about externalizing the config and the mapping, even without that, there's still ways that you could make things more resilient within the code here. But I already said it's not worth the time. So. Good. Hey, what's next? Make sure we get to represent everybody. Well, Omkar doesn't mean it's not good work, man. Omkar, it's good work, and Progalva is a great
Yes.
idea.
And clearly, this is more readable to understand what the code is doing when you process the data. That way, it's really more readable. So yes, it's an improvement at the end, but there's still that little issue that it is not real fix.
Yeah, moving on to Vedant. You're up next, buddy. We can't hear you, Vedant.
Yes. Hello, my name is Vedant, and mainly uh, means the issue was that the connection registration UI that used was literally a hard coded list uh, of connection types. So it mainly contained Prometheus and Graphene connection, I guess. So means Mainly the problem with this approach was that even if a new connection type were added, then the registered means the Meshery backend registry, they would never appear in UApp. So while looking in this issue, I means I noticed that the Meshery already maintains the information in the registry, but front end wasn't using the registry as the source of truth. So I mainly made the changes, like I connected through the means registry using the RTK query. I mainly changed these two files, in which the first was means the first change was replacing the hard code connection type list. I fetched the data from the registry using RTK query, uh, which means which allows the front end to make connection dynamically. And the
Perfect.
second,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. The second what? You use RTK query and what else? I'm just trying to hurry you along
pardon?
and get you some feedback. I'm just trying to hurry you along and get you some feedback. So let me interrupt for a moment and ask Kusham, Krishna, and Chai. What feedback do you have for Vedant?
So, as we had discussed in our previous meet, that using RTK query, and he has also used the mesh model, so he's right on that part. And I can see he also has used the derived connection types, so I believe that would also fix it. Although, regarding the naming, I believe we should be using the kind naming convention and not directly the names that he has used here. The rest of it, I believe that this would go well with what we had discussed.
Nice. Good. And so, Chai, do you want to welcome Vedant to that effort? And like, how can you participate with you guys? Or
Yeah, certainly. So we are working on the connection wizard, and prior to this, we were intending to, add model providers to the connection wizard and sort of make it agnostic to any types of connection. But since I had raised this issue regarding that this is being hard coded and we are not actually fetching it from the registry, so this would work as the foundation for what we are going to build forward. So yeah, definitely this would be considered, and there would be more working on this.
so means what changes should I do in this for it to work?
I mean, you have did it right on the using RTK query and replacing the credentials with mesh model.
Yes.
And yeah, so this would make it dynamic. That would be my take on this. There would be certain non-blocking fix, although also, did you acknowledge the feedback provided by the Gemini code?
Yes, I saw that, but they just told me wait. Uh, they did not told me to means do any changes. The changes were right. I also thought that what I changed was exactly suitable for this, other
Okay,
than
so
what.
did you acknowledge it, or
No, means I did not have the priority for that, but I will change. Means I will acknowledge it now.
okay?
Thanks for that. Moreover, you can continue the conversation on Slack as we just bound by the time check. So yeah, next is so this is about the next week conference that we would be having on in Mumbai, the KubeCon. And so, Lee, I just recorded a demo video that will be displaying on the Meshery booth. So it will be on the Project Pavilion, Jasmine Hall 3, and the table number is T13. So come check us out, and we'll be also playing this demo around which deploys intra design to your local Kubernetes cluster and also demonstrates different capabilities of Meshery, for example, like catalog extension. So you can also check out the Google document made by Yash Sharma. So there's some of the goals and success metrics listed over here, what we'll be planning around the booth. And it's good to have some questions on the tip of your tongue so that you can interact with more and more people confidently. Here are some shifts as well mentioned. You can do list out the name over here if you're attending KubeCon. Yash Makal, Yash Sharma, me, Shive will be all there. So we'll be happy to interact with everyone. Yeah. Next up is Linux. Would you like to share your screen?
One second, there we go. So we are currently looking into improving the catalog designs detail page. I have already raised the issue over this. So at the beginning, we were just looking into just removing the empty fields and providing like a default value for them, and also removing the prominent UUID which was being displayed. So that has been done over here by Ragul. And despite that, as you can see over here, there is still like areas of improvement for the page in itself. Like for example, I linked the Google Doc over in the minute documents, but after the change, there's still some things which will be like better, I guess, like the alignment of like the titles versus what's being shown over the details. So aside from what a couple of people have pointed out, I was just looking for overall feedback, and if everyone could just, if you have something to say in regards of it, you could come over and just leave your feedback. So yeah, that's about it.
Uh, yeah, that is good. And you can also check out the responsiveness of the page as well as additionally with the alignment that you mentioned. So I wonder if Ragul is not on the call, I think.
Yeah, I'm on the call.
Okay, there we go.
Moving on to the next.
Cool. Hey, if we go back real fast, Lennox, if you share that same page one more time, one of the things that's is a bit odd. I'm hopeful that that dapper design is an exception. Anytime that there's a design that's requested to be published to the catalog, it undergoes a review process. In fact, before it can be submitted for review, the fields, what does this design, or what this design does, caveats and consideration, those are required fields in the form that's submitted. The form that's submitted is within Meshery UI. It's under the designs area. You go to your design. One of the actions you can take on your design is to like publish it to the catalog. And when you do, it should guarantee that these values are filled in. So in concept, this shouldn't be happening, but we do need to handle it to the extent that that the data is missing. So no description available. That's perfect, I think. And then this page itself, like the UUID that's over there, that's great information in the details. Perhaps we can make it so people could just kind of click to copy it to the extent that they actually wanted to see what the UUID is. They're not going to be able to hand type it out, so we can make it usable by having a little, copy to clipboard button. That might be nice. It might be nice if we changed the labels for the sections, where we've got capital category, capital UUID, capital. By the way, I wouldn't say UUID, I would just say ID, right? Or identifier, or just because for the rest of the non-software engineers that come here, that the ID is probably a little more friendly. We want to take and differentiate either the size, color, or something between the text that's used for the section header and the content itself. So the key is category, and the value is deployment, or the key is created by, and the value is the person's name. In that case, it's hyperlinked, so it visually appears slightly different. But we can change the color, change the size of the text, something to help offset it a little bit. We might want to slide if you scroll to the top of the page. Or yeah, I guess it's a screenshot. But yeah, if on the left-hand side, those details, if we've got whites, I guess we don't. I was going to say if we have white space up above, but I guess it's a title and sort of everything's separate. Another thing we can do is ensure that the three buttons, the three actions that people can take here, that we could use a primary, secondary, and tertiary coloring. So potentially like the Keppel green that's used, great. Use a saffron yellow, which is another part of the root variables in this website. And then like for the third action, it could be just an empty outline of a button. So yeah, this is great. It's good improvement. So long as I'm being super picky, we might also remove the colons on the section titles. We might want to also make the section titles where we've got what this design does, caveats and consideration, compatible. I want to make those all uppercase as well, just to remain consistent with the left-hand side. Another thing that helps people read the page a little easier, helps their eyes float over it, is if there's a distinguishment between the background color of the core content taking up 2/3 of the page versus the background color of kind of the panel, if you will, that's on the left-hand side. So food for thought.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for working on this.
No problem.
Okay. Chaitanya, you are up next.
Yes. Yeah, so this PR is meant to fix the artifact hub being duplicated in the logs. So if you could see here, we are getting two logs for the same artifact hub. So I checked out, and the reason we are getting two logs here is because of them having different connection IDs. Okay, so I did make a fix on this by aggregating or grouping them on the basis of kind, subtype, and type, and there was one more factor to it. But on the surface, even though we are able to see that those are aggregated here, as you can see 152 models, uh, the root cause isn't here. The root cause is because of we are still dependent on v1 beta 1 when it comes for the connection. And specifically speaking, as you can see here, the generate ID, what we are doing here is we are um, sort of consolidating it and hashing it using the MD5, and that is our connection ID here. So this is the root cause that we are still relying on V1 beta 1, and I also checked into our latest one, and we don't have any helper of sorts here. So the UI is still showing as two separate entries for the same artifact hub. The reason being that we are still using this. So my question would be, following up to this to, make the changes in the schema is, would we be, dealing with this only in terms of connection ID, or should we, consolidate them or change the logic here?
Lee, any thoughts on this one? Yeah, Jay, you can go ahead.
No, no thoughts.
Yeah,
I don't think he needs
so-
feedback. Good, great. Fix it.
I not exactly feedback on this, but I think it's better to use SHA-256 instead of MD5. MD5 has a collision attack that can be generated in seconds. So even though within the code it's not much of a problem, it's still better to use a hashing algorithm that cannot be that doesn't have a collision problem. So yeah, that's the only thing that I wanted to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll look into this.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, Ronak, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, you are.
Actually, I have one question from that Chaitanya's PR. It's regarding that key after the dedup, the event builder uses the host data of first occurrence, and if we set the schema accordingly, so it will produce the metadata for different logic for the same resistance only. So I wanted to know, is it intentional? Because the code has been written on 260 and 261 line. So that was the thing I wanted to know.
Chaitanya,
Utkarsh, could you repeat in short again?
What I'm saying is, after we do the dedup, the event builder will use the host data of first occurrence. Like whichever the first occurrence will come, the host data will use that one only. And the schema that we have set, it will produce multiple different metadatas for the same logical resistance. And if we subsequently occur that he silently dropped, like uh, uh, if the same metadata is being repeatedly used for same logical resistance, then have you said that logic intentionally, or is it different for what is say variant different identicals, like
Okay.
generating UUID?
Okay, so I'll explain the current interaction here. What is occurring here? You are right on the metadata, but the difference here is that there are various factors for them being different connection IDs here. So one of them could be that they have different metadata. Okay, and this is itself in the V1 beta 1. I haven't interacted with this yet, or I haven't changed this yet. So the reason we are getting two different logs is because of the existing logic within the within this code that is present in the schemas.
Yeah, actually, that was the thing I was asking, because it can create a conflict after the merge now. So that's the reason I wanted to know.
Yeah, so for that I would look into the SQLite and check exactly why we have the different connection IDs here, and on the basis of that, then I could propose the process moving forward.
Yeah, sure. That's it from my side.
Yeah, but exactly, metadata wouldn't be the exact reason here. There are one or two more factors that I'm not able to remember. But yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, actually, just I uh, saw the metadata one, so I just got the logic of behind that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Utkarsh and Chaitanya. Pragalpa, would you like to talk about this one? About the upgradation of Golang version?
Yeah, so I mean, you can open up the issue, Ronak. It's a quick update for the community. On the last couple of days, we have worked on upgrading the Go version from 1.25 to 1.26. So, if you are still running on an older version, then you might be seeing some, suspicious errors, and you would have to, upgrade your Go version locally. And there are, I think, about 3 PRs that are left to be merged. Yeah, those need a bit of attention, and we have covered all of our repos, I think now. And it was just a quick update regarding the version update.
Yeah. Thanks, Pragalpa, for that one. Think it will be worse. Anything else you would like to talk about?
No, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, Jay.
Does it also cover the Meshkit repo for the GitHub runner where there is, I think, one error for older Go tool chain?
Oh yeah, I think Matthew had a PR that has been merged, and that
Okay.
solves it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Next up, Rahul.
Just a minute, I share my screen.
Mm.
Okay, in default in mobile view, we can the user search like AWS, etc. Sorry, this is a PR one. And the user search or something in the sidebar, and because of that, the search results are hidden. If the user search here, and also when clicking this button, also the user can't view this. The user will need to manually click the to sidebar close button to view. So this PR will address this. As when the user search like AWS, it will automatically close the sidebar, and also similar to these buttons, making the user friendly.
Mhm.
And that's it about this issue.
Yeah, that's a good enhancement. That's due to because one of the recent changes. So the sidebar carries the state whenever you go to any of the page if it's expanded. So it carries that state forward, but makes sense when we are on the big screens. So this doesn't affect the big screens, right?
Yeah, this doesn't affect the big screen. In
Yeah.
big screen,
Mhm.
we can it will not hide.
Yeah, I will go and approve the PR after the
Yeah,
call.
sure.
So
Okay. And about the next is about this. As Lee mentioned, you want to change this like no description available and all, and we want to add some hyperlink here, and I address this too. And here we can see there are two headings here, so I just removed one
mhm.
like this. So I just removed that too, and also further changes need to be done in this in Lee mentioned today's meeting. That's it about it.
Nice. Hey, Lennox, you got any feedback by chance?
Not really, since in regards of the changes for the catalog page. I have been I'm already making the list, and I'm gonna make the Figma design. So I'm going to be providing any changes that actually should be like included within the issue. So yeah, I know. Sorry for my camera. I'm gonna buy a new one. But yeah, other than that, the change in the sidebar, it looks just fine, and then Ronak already said that he's going to merge it. So I think everything should be okay.
Okay, and also I have found another thing. Oh. Here, some of the images are missing in some of these fields, and I also raised the PR for that and fixing right now.
Yeah, Rahul, that needs to be fixed surely. So, do you have anything else since we are left with
Yeah,
other agenda items as well?
that's it, Ram. That's it, Ram.
Okay. Well, thanks
Thank
for
you.
sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Olale, would you mind sharing your screen and talking about this one? Mhm. I think he's not
Well,
around in the call.
Olalai, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Is Olalai, if you're there, man, you
Yeah,
ready?
I'm here. Yep.
Great, let's go.
So I have this PR opened. So basically I'm trying to standardize the model. So there's a legacy, there are some legacy files that have artifact hub as the registrant. So I'm trying to update it to the new way it's done, which is GitHub. So what I did initially was like check all the files and update it. So I had like a huge number of change in the file change. So I got a feedback from Fitzaga, I don't know how to pronounce it. So saying it's from the sheets which needs to be updated. So I had a call with Matthew on how I will be able to like just play with it locally to see if everything works. So I like made a copy with the sheets and ran it locally here to verify everything. And this is the screenshot saying I just update. Oh, sorry. I don't know why it's not opening, but yeah. So to see if everything changes, I added like the sheets to the file. You can see from here and run the script to update it. And yeah, this is the PR for it for that. And also, yeah, there was a naming convention that needs to be updated, like for the AWS. So the way it's named in the file, it's like Lambda controller. And Lambda controller is basically like for AWS alone. So adding the proper name convention, instead of Lambda controller, we should have like AWS Lambda controller to be more generic, not generic, but to be more specific to its function. And yeah, that's what this PR does.
Yash, any feedback?
Yeah, I had provided my feedback, and I guess Olale has implemented that at the time. It was related to, I think, wrong mapping of mutated and mutated refs.
Yeah, it's been implemented. It's been updated.
Yeah.
Yash, any feedback?
I don't know why this is not opening. Okay.
Oh no, it's good currently.
Yash, as we consider merging this, Yash, before this gets lost, how are we taking care of the rest of the changes to the relationships?
So it needs to be
Yash,
updated.
how are we taking care of the
Okay.
Yes.
rest of the changes.
If we need to merge it, we actually need to integrate this in our integration spreadsheet. And one more thing that we need actual design that can be rendered on canvas to a canvas to actually validate the relationship that is actually working well and doing as whatever as defined by Olale. So yeah, that's all. That's the two things that we need to make sure that it won't be getting lost.
Great. Yep, great. And for the ones that we've already accepted, how are we making sure that they're not being lost? Sounds like this is a follow-up item. Please follow up on this with Sangram if you would.
Yeah, sure.
Also note that it's helpful that people render it in Canvas, but note that Rishi Raj recently delivered the ability to evaluate designs. And so
Yeah.
you can just use Meshery UI as well to verify that the changes that are intended, the relationship changes are happening.
Yes. Yeah, I'll follow up with Mr. Sangram regarding Plus.
Thanks. Yeah. Good. It sounds like Ola, you're good to go.
Okay. Thanks.
Josh, you are up next. We can't hear you, Yash, if you are speaking.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Laptop is just not working well today. Yeah, no worries. So let me quickly walk you through with my PR. So it is to this effort is related to migrating model and components file format to canonical camel case. So if you're looking at the model cell for a little bit of context, this is called as a model schema, and in it we have some of the fields like registrant's ID, or these are some of the fields, and you can see some of them are in camel case, some of them are in snake case. But in schemas, we have some of the policies defined that all the JSON tags should be in camel case and all the DB tags should be in snake case. So I recently delivered a Meshery CTL model in it to actually yield all the scaffolds that we generate in all in the camel case as per the latest schemas that we have available for models, components, and relationships respectively. That currently models are on beta 2. We got components and relationships on beta 3. So this is all related to the actually migrating them, because since init command is actually yielding all of those in latest schema, we need to make sure that the model generate command that I'm currently working on and is in it isn't completed yet, but I'm actually working on should be yielding that latest changes. So that's what I'm trying to make here. So if you can see, this is related to actually configuring all those configuring schemas to actually yield latest schemas. And one more caveat I will say, or the limitation of this PR, is that the currently the component schema version bump, which has happened to beta 3, is currently unset because the one pattern, what I can say, currently the beta 3 design.go file actually declares stuck in beta 2 format or beta 2 schema, but I have actually stamped beta 3 tag on it. This is actually known limitation, and about it I need to make one more PR just because of the scope of this PR. I have made sure that it will just focused on this migration only. So I have tested it with actually Meshery, and I have made some of the changes in MeshKit too. Actually, because of some of the problems that I'm facing currently, I'm not able to actually show the demo. It was working fine, but on a moment I failed to actually generate it. So that's why I can't show a demo. But yeah, I have verified all the things that it actually yields correct schema, and those changes are safe. As Pragalva and I had discussion here, as you can see, yeah, this is actually a structural lie that's stamping beta 3 on beta 2, but it will be solved after my the second PR will be up. So it is currently safe to actually merge, because the different fields are actually never populated, because design conversion go only set schema version display name, component kind, version, and model name or tags, and actually the tags that differs, that are created at, updated at, and deleted at, actually those fields that differ between v1 beta 2 and beta 3, that those are not getting touched. So those structs will be producing identical output for them. Regarding to DB database migration, there is no need of database migration, since DB tags and GORM tags that we use are actually identical for both of the v1 beta 2 and beta 3. So this is purely a JSON wire changes, and no any database struct will be is changed here. And this is what we had this is what we discussed with Pragalva. So yeah, this is all from me, and if you have any question, I would like to answer them.
All right. So since we are of time as well, we can continue the conversation on Slack if that's fine for you, Yash.
Yeah, sure, no worries. Thanks.
So the agenda items that have been left, you can add them to the next week agenda so that you can grab up the first place. We can cover, if we do have any urgent agenda items, we can cover that one. Lee, would you like to cover your agenda item?
Oh, we're just over time, so no. This one on organizations, it's probably better if I bring a couple of illustrations to help convey the concept of organizations and the various forms that they take. So it's probably better if I tee it up, or maybe an email, actually.
Alrighty. So if you can also record a video of the one who are left with the agenda items and share us on Slack, or you can post that on the discussion forum as well, so that you don't need to wait for the next week to get the feedback. That's also a really great way of engaging. So we'll be seeing you on the next week, and we do also have on Mondays we have a websites call where we talk about different front-end related issues around all of our 100 plus repos. And also on Fridays, we have a newcomers call. So if you're joining this community for the first time, it will just help you land your first pull request after the call, and you'll be having a high level overview of all of the projects. So you can find all the links of the meetings in the calendar, and that is meet.meshery.io. So we'll be seeing you on Mondays on the websites call, or if you're coming for KubeCon. So thanks for joining, everyone. Yeah. Bye.
Bye. See you guys.
Thank you. Bye.